Hey, how is everybody? Now we're going to see if Facebook will let me on all my things or only some of them today. So we're going to see how this is going to work. Let's see. Am I on? Let's try videos. Look at that. I'm on there. Hallelujah. Let's see if I'm on here. Let's turn up the volume though. Always forget that. You know how you're listening to everybody else? Oh, Mother of God. I'm on all three. Yes. Hallelujah. Hey, Donna. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Kurt. Hello. How are you? I'm just happy that I can get a, oh man, am I not going to see comments on here again? Jeez. Hey Linda, hey Janice, hey. We're gonna do something new. Hey, first, thanks for coming to Known as Nutty Crafts. This is my little paint thing. I ruined my apron and it started to get painty. And I went, well, guess it's gonna be the paint apron. So, which is fine, I'll just get some more. Let me move this over here so I can see. Look, no comments here. So I'll be popping in and out on here then. Just see the comments. Let me get the cord all the way around. Ooh, see what's out of my way. There we go. So I guess to say, hey Janice, hi. I'm doing fine, and how are you? How is everybody today? I started to paint these and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go live. I said, we're just going to do this, and we'll start some other projects painting. I'm in a group. It's a painting group. I know how to paint, but, it's always nice to learn different techniques, from other people and stuff and whatnot. And so this isn't one of those techniques. It's something I decided to do. And I thought it would be kind of cool to share with you guys. It's an easy project. If you don't know how to paint, you can do this. Sirius has a heart attack. Sirius says, don't have a heart attack though. All right. So I am going to turn the camera down. Hey, Darlene. Hey, Teresa. Hello. Good morning. Is it morning? Well, it's 12 o'clock here. Hey, Linda. Good afternoon. I'm so glad everybody's popping in. Hey, Luann. Hey, Julie. I know that I only said in 5 minutes I was coming on, but I was just like, I wanted to do things, and sometimes I start doing things and forget. I said, oh, let me share this with you guys. So I am going to turn the camera down, and you're going to have to bear with me tapping on. Oh, comments. Oh, yay. Yay. I have, hi, Heidi. Oh, yay. I've got comments up there. I still don't understand this bring this camera in thing. Well, it doesn't show up there, but it shows it on here. Who knows? So let me tilt the camera down so you can see my table. All right, so here it comes, the wiggle worms. That should be good. And I'm so glad I'm in this bigger room. I am. Yes. Hey, you guys, you see that little red button that's up at the top of the page? That means we're actually live, all right? Hey, June. And go ahead, and if you would please bless my page, float my boat, whatever the words you want to use, and that S-H-A-R-E, sprinkle the love, please. Tell your friends to come and hang out with us. Hey, Carla. Hey, Christy. How is everybody? All right. So this is how this project is going to work. So I'm going to show you. Now, you could probably buy these anywhere, whether it's Michael's, Hobby Lobby. These are those, they're plastic, okay? It sounds like glass, but it's actually, oh, these are the glass ones. Sorry. They make them in plastic too, but I'm working on the glass ones. Sorry. But you can find these in plastic as well. Now, Hobby Lobby sells them in a set of 6 like this. They had them, I have other things in the box, so don't look, for $5.99. But now they're having a sale on their Christmas stuff, I think this week at 50% off. You can also get them in bigger ones like this as well. Hello, Carla from Virginia. I'm in Virginia too. So, hey, Christy. Gosh, this camera thing is going to drive me crazy. As long as everybody's in blue, I guess I'm okay. Hey, Kim. I still don't understand it. Anyway. Okay. So you can find them in plastic. What you will need is some pom-poms. Now, I found these at Michael's. I scarfed. Oh, why do I keep dropping one? Oh, here it is. Look at my paint's going on the floor. You know I always do bloopers on my thing. I'm just going to move these out of the way for right now in the box. Now, you can also pick those up, these up. You may find them at Dollar Tree. The pom-poms, I was only able to scarf up 2 bags at Michael's the other day, but I'm sure you can get bigger bags of the pom-poms and, you know, different colors of the green and stuff like that. Hey, Patty. Hey, Cindy. Watching from Florida. Well, welcome, Florida. Oops. There we go. Oh, so if it's in the green. In the green. In the green. I think I zapped out all these other people that were in green. Let me fix that. Whoops. My bad. Okay. All right. So we're going to use these as well. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Hello, Melissa. How are you, my friend? Patty, a Nona from PA. Yay, Nonas. Nonas are great people. All right, so this is totally freehand. See, I started painting these and thought, oh, I'll go on with you. So these have 2 coats on them already. And all we're going to do, I think my paint is kind of drying here, so we'll see. I just got a plate. I have all kinds of things you can paint with. And all you're going to do is make a heart, okay? I try to feel these to feel which, like this one has a little bit of a bump on it, to feel which side is more smoother. You can clean these with alcohol if you want to do that first to make sure there's no grease or anything. I took these right out of the box. Of course, I've been touching it now. So I have just a thin paintbrush. You can get them anywhere, all right? And I'm just going to figure out about where I want the heart to be. You can make it as big or as small as you want. I want these small, and I'm going to show you why. So all we're going to do is just make a heart. And see, it's yucky there, but that's okay. For me, I like to turn mine upside down and draw the other way. But you can do it however you want. And we're going to fill it in. And of course, you know, it looks yucky right now. But we're going to fix everything. We'll smooth it out. We'll make it look even. It's just a heart. Just a heart, y'all. Okay? So right now, because it's the first coat going on, it's kind of like streaky in a way. So what I like to do is try to fill it in as much as possible. And I do this is, you know, wax paper, parchment paper, so I don't get my table all yucky. Let me just finish that. If you're worried about your hand shaking, as you can see, the palm of my hand is resting on the table. Because girls and gentlemen, I don't have a non-shaky hand. I think we all shake because, I don't know, it's just tedious, little things like this. So for some reason, my hand shakes. It is what it is. So you can look. And you just take your heart away. Needs to be a little bit more fuller on this side here, in my opinion. And you just go back and forth until you get it the way you want. Not hard. Good morning, Kay. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Betty. Hey, Lori. Hey, Tracy. All right. So, heart is done. All right. So, I'm going to put the red paintbrush away. Because now, like I said, I'm going to let that one dry. I've done 2 coats on these, and I'm fine with that. The next color I'm going to use is black. The red that I used just now was this. It's from Delta. you can use whether it's the Apple Martha Stewart, Delta, or Folk Art. It's up to you. All right, it doesn't really matter. I use these big things because these are colors that I paint a lot with. Oops, I didn't really need that much. Oh, that's right. This is my new one. This is my old one. All right, so let's put the old one away since I use this black because they may be just a tad different. Now, how do you, make dots? If you take the back of your paintbrushes here, you can dip it in the paint and you can just make dots. And I do it each time. Sometimes if you see how they look different, so I just make sure I go every time so that the dots look consistent, okay? If you don't need one that big, and this is what you can do, you can test it out. Just take the back of your paintbrushes and decide how big do I want my dot to be. And the paintbrushes, you know, have different widths and everything on the back of them, okay? So we're going to use the smaller one. So let me wipe off this one. And I always have paper towels. Oh, look, I need more paper towels. I always have paper towels on hand. Just that's going to go away. So what we're going to do is take our paintbrush, and I'm going to put some dots and then I'll show you. Okay, I'll hold it up. It's going to be a dot. And if you guys get where I'm going with this, this is the Grinch. You know, he has his little heart and let me look at, see, this is what I start painting and I get quiet. All right, so you're just putting the black darts around the heart. You know, the Grinch that stole Christmas, you know? And this is kind of just a cool little, you know, thing that you can make. And it's not hard. Are you guys having okay? Can you see? I know if you are, I can try to bring the camera in a little bit closer. Here I'm saying closer after I just moved out of the other craft room because everything was so close that it drove me insane. You guys were like right on top of me. And now I can make my camera go wider. So I gotta realize you guys are further away this time. So it's just hearts. See how that is? Oops, I'm missing cameras here. And that's all that it is. I just got to remember not to do that one. Oops. And you could start it wherever. I'm just starting it at the bottom because I want to make sure that one dot on the bottom is right at the middle of the heart there. And the goal would be to get one up there too in the middle. And you just got to, you know, each of these hearts are not exactly the same, you know, size. So I just have to just kind of go around and just make sure I make it even enough so that spacing wise, so that I can come right around and it would just look perfect. Voila. Oh, I really like these. This is the first time I'm doing these, guys. I have never made these before. What I'll do is I'll put these down here so you guys can see. Maybe that would be better for you all. Whoops, I see a question. Where did you find these I found at Hobby Lobby. These are glass ones. You can find plastic ones. You just have to look for them. Try Michael's too. Maybe even Joanne Fabrics may have them. I bought these literally probably like 2 months ago. I kind of shop that way sometimes. And I'll buy things and then forget about them. And I'm like, so they've been in the craft room here for quite some time. And I keep saying, this is what I want to do. Now, this is one project I'm going to do with them. The bigger ones I'm going to do a different project with, which I have to get the rest of the pieces that I want to do with that, hopefully. And hey, Lori. Hey, Ida. How are you all today? And I'm just hoping that I can find what I want. You know when you have something in your brain and you're like, oh, this is what I want to do? And now you got to find the pieces, and you hunt forever. And sometimes you can find them, sometimes you're not, and then you have to go with plan B of what you're going to do. And that's kind of what I'm hoping not to do, is plan B. I'd rather stick with plan A. But at this point, plan B looks like it may have to happen. All right, so look how easy that was. Now, you can paint anything you want on these. I mean, it's your choice. I just thought this was just something kind of cool to do. I don't know, something different for me to do, I guess. Now, see, this still has like kind of streaky marks. This is only the one, this is the one we just painted a few minutes ago. And I want to, hey, Melody, I want to go ahead and clean up those streak marks. My paint is drying because I have a fan above. So I'm just going to paint over it again. Now it is going to look like it's hand painted, of course. It's not like it's a decal. And you know what? You could probably do this with your Cricut. Make a little heart if you want to do it that way. And put it on as well. Or your silhouette machine. But I'm choosing, I have a Cricut, but I'm choosing to hand paint these. Just because I want to. That's the reason why. I probably could make my life easier sticking a vinyl piece on it, but I don't know how you would do the little dots. My goodness, that would be a lot of little dots to peel off and stick though. But maybe you could do the vinyl hard and then, you know, paint the dots. Alright, so we go ahead and we can paint the dots on this because it's on the outside. Just make sure I don't touch the red. Now, after these have totally dried, I gotta go and seal them, right? So now there's different types of sealers that you can use, and it's really up to you. I'll probably use a spray sealer on this, just because for me that's just easier, but you got to make sure it's going to work on the glass or on the plastic or whatever you're making it on. Hey, Rita. Hey, Kiss. Is it Kiss? Sissy. I almost said Kissy. All right. So those are going to dry. And we're going to move on to these guys. Look at the snowman. Ooh, I got paint on me. So this is another easy project. I like the rustic look, right? These came actually painted like this already, and I like the rustic. It doesn't matter what we're, you know, in painting wise, because we're going to paint over a lot of this. So what you can do, if you buy something that's already like this, get a piece of sandpaper. If you're not sure if it has a seal on it. Look, I'm throwing these. I don't like these things. It came with a thing. All right, so let's see. I don't know if you can really see, but I'm just not going to do it on the table. I'm just going to take a light sandpaper. This is, I think, 150 sandpaper. 150 sandpaper. I got it from Hobby Lobby. Thank you, Linda. And I'm just going to sand lightly over this. And I'm just going to do it over my trash can. It doesn't have anything on it, but I just want to make sure. And that's just to rough it up. I don't care if the wood is showing, because eventually it's going to be showing how, I don't know if I'm going to make these, how rustic I want to make these or not. I'm leaving the backs the way they are. And that's all I'm doing. I know you can't really see this. If I get up and move the camera, you can, but this is just a 2-second job. See, we're done. All right, put the sandpaper over there. Hello, Kim. How are you? Hello, Miss Retta. Ooh, hello, Miss Carol Brown. Ooh, God, I almost knocked everything over. So, decide what you want to paint. Okay? I forgot my white paint, too. Again, my paint's pretty simple. They're craft paint. Now I'm on my other chair, and I'm not used to it after being on that other low chair. After you sand it, just take a cloth, just kind of wipe it off to make sure you get all the little dust particles from sanding off. There we go. See how easy peasy. Easy peasy. I really like the rustic. I don't think I'm going to paint anything on the face because that's the goal that I'm going to be going for anyway on this. So we'll start with the nose because that's going to be orange. The hat's going to be black and we're going to do this red. So let's start with a little bit of the orange. Ooh, that's a bright orange. Let's see if I have a darker orange here. Look. I've evidently used this but poured it, but never took off the wrapper. We're going to see. I don't want it to be so orange. I can turn it down with paint to make it darker, so to speak. Oh, that was a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to use this one. We're going to see. I can always change it. And this is going to be on the nose. And all I'm doing is painting. It's a carrot. See? This is not hard. Anybody can do this, okay? So don't think, oh, I can't paint. This is like painting 101. But there'll be other techniques in here as this dries and stuff that I'll show you. Sometimes I'll keep baby wipes around on hand for me because I get paint all over my hands and then I wind up touching everything. So I always try not to touch the product, but that's kind of hard sometimes. And look, I'm not even painting on my parchment paper or wax paper. See? Hey Andrea, how are you? Like I said, I have my fan here, so things dry pretty quick with this. Now in these you can embellish, you know, put somebody's name up here if you wanted to. Whether you handwrite it, whether you use, you know, again, you know, a vinyl machine, silhouette or whatever, Cricut. It doesn't matter, but you can do either or. And that's what's kind of neat about these. If you do with the Cricut and you know you're doing a business kind of thing and you're selling these that way, you know, that might be easier and quicker for you than trying to paint, you know, people's names and personalize them. Hello, Miss Dunlap. How are you? All right, that is the easy part. Now we're going to take a little bit of a thicker paintbrush because we're going to do his hat. Dip it to get a little wet. And we're going to paint his hat. Now after all this is dry, too, I'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and sand it all down to give it the rustic, you know, look as well. Now one thing I'm a little bit finicky about is when you're painting things like this, push that underneath, is to watch your sides and your back. Now if I want the sides on this, because it is the hat, I'm going to paint it going this way. I don't want to paint it going this way because what's going to happen, it's going to gob down the side there, and I don't on the back. And if I can avoid painting the back and do it nicely, that would always be the goal. Now this I can take off if I want to. I don't know if I want to leave it. For now I'm going to leave it and try not to paint it. There we go. And see, you're just going to come around the sides just like that. So Frosty is coming to life. I want to make sure I get in between in here, all the little nooks and crannies. See, I get quiet again. Sorry. Oh, I made a mistake back there, but that's okay. I can paint the black. And sometimes what I'll do, if it's, you know, white like this, black is usually the easiest to paint on the back of these because then it covers all your mistakes, so to speak. And, which is a good thing. So if you do get it, you can either wipe it off, use water to wipe it off right away. Take your paper towel, dip it in, and you wipe it off. And see, it's gone. It's gone. Now we got to do underneath the brim of his hat. So for that one, I'm going to take just a really small paintbrush because it's a really thin line underneath here. And this is a really, 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 really tiny one. I'm just going to stroke it, just to do the brim. It isn't. It's not really setting on his face, so to speak. So I have a little bit of a gap. So if my paintbrush goes down there, I don't have to worry about it technically getting on his head or face. But I still want to keep it off of it as much as possible. Could I get away without doing this part of it? Probably, because you're probably not going to see it as much because it's facing down. But I am one of these people that is a little bit more meticulous about some things, and I would notice that. And that's me. Alrighty. Trying not to touch the paint all over the place. So there's some areas here that I see I didn't catch coming down on the corners or side. And we're just going to do that. Touch him up. And he's going to be off to dry. So this one, I'm just going to go ahead and do that part of it since I have this paintbrush already in my hand. Just come down and paint that edge. And again, I'm using the table to help keep my hand steady. Because like I said, I am not perfect with the hand. And this really helps. You use the hand and let the wrist go. And voila. Let me do this one since I have it. Hi Dawn, how are you? We're painting some snowmen. So if you guys wouldn't mind if you hit that button up top, you can follow me, you get the notifications when I go live. You can also bless my page. Oh, here comes the puppy. Hello, little missy. And that way, we get to have a lot of friends come in. Hi. What are you doing? I usually shut the door. But I didn't today to keep her out of here. Whoops, don't hit me. All right, so let's get our other paintbrush back, and then we can paint the rest of this. And just make sure when you're painting, like when you, let's see if I can do it here. You guys can see. Let me move this. So when you're painting and you first put your paintbrush down, on the edges you get these, it gets higher because the paint spreads out kind of like there. You want to make sure you go over that so you have nice, and it's all nice and flat. You don't have these globs laying there. So it looks like, oh, here's a stroke, and you can see where it actually, how wide it is and all. And you want to make sure you do that. That's one thing, you know, some painters forget about, is making it look nice and even, okay? And I go over, and I'll go over those lines again and again. Now this has ridges in it, this wood. It's not flat, so it does have ridges in it. That down. So you got to make sure you get in those little bit of ridges, and you can tilt it, you know, tilt your snowman. Whoops, I just touched all that orange. So that, you know, you go like this so you can see, because sometimes you may think you covered it all, and then you tilt it a different way and it's like, oh, there we go, there's more that I got to paint. Alright, so again, we're going to come to the edges, paint it this way, so we don't paint the back. But if we do, we can always go back and paint it black or white to cover it. That string. I kind of like the string. I may change it out. I have over here some ribbons that I could change it out with. Same with on the Grinch ones. Need some more black paint. Thank you for sprinkling. Hi, Sue. Yes, you guys sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Like I said, this is an easy project. You can even do this with your kids, because this is something, you know, this one isn't hard to, like, hey, paint a hat, paint a nose, paint a scarf, you know, on it. And they can do whatever they want. You can add little embellishments. Now coming back over, you see, because I notice it's brighter here because my paintbrush came over. So I want to make sure that that stays even. I don't want those globs there. All right, so we got one more hat to paint. And then we can move on to the next. Now in these, snowmen can have different colored scarves, and they can have different facial expressions. They don't all have to be the same, because not all snowmen are the same. You know what I like is when people take snowmen outside and they do them like upside down with feet sticking up in the air or something. It always used to be you have to do, oh, you know, make the snowman out of the 3 circles, and, you know, put a hat and sticks in his arm and a carrot or a pickle in his nose or something. And now people have gotten really creative with how they dress up their snowman outside, and I think that's so cool. We did it the one year, my neighbor's kids, we did it, and we didn't have like a carrot or a pickle, so we used, my neighbor works on cars, so for the eyes he had these big washers that we put in for the eyes, and we used, you know, pieces of car. And it was like, it was the coolest snowman. All right, so we're gonna let those dry a little bit. Where did you find this out? I found them at Michael's. I just want to get some of this black paint off, because we're gonna come back to these guys. All right, so these are pretty much dry. All right, So we're going to take our pom-poms. Again, you can get these anywhere. I'm using a mixture of colors. These have like some teal in them, the green in it. I just like the mixture of them. And where was the one I did? I think it was that one was the last one. So we're going to take this off and we're just going to take our pom-poms and we're going to stuff them in there. Now this is probably harder than anything. Stuffing them in there. Ooh, that's too wide. Just take your paintbrush. See how good. Oh, I think I have to stuff it in a little bit first. And we're just going to pick different colors and put them in there. And that's what I like about the mixture bag rather than doing all the same. You could do it all the same if you want to, but I just wanted to add a little bit of, you know, rather than all being bright green, you know, like the Grinches. No problem. You're welcome. There's all different textures in here. And again, you can make these as big as you want. Probably with the bigger ones, it would probably be easier stuffing these. But I'm trying to get a little of all the colors in here. Oh, these are really easy to stuff in. There's some little ones. And just poke them around till you get it to where you want it to be. See if I can poke that there so that I can put this green one on the other side. So see how that's coming out? Isn't that kind of cool? I think we could finish off with this one up top. Maybe one more. Let's do this one. Oops. And you can fill these however you want. If you don't want to, and you could do these, you know, they don't have to be these flat ornament ones too. You can do them with other ones. Look how cute that is. Let's put our top back on. I always hate these things because I never could get them in. Look at how cute. Isn't that cute? It's the Grinch's heart. Oop, let me move it up a little closer so you can see. I gotta wait. Delay reactions. Delays. Isn't that cute? And if you want, you can put the kid's name on the back or whoever you're giving this to. Now the thing, because I have a lot of green. I have some red ribbon. Where did I get this? This I got on clearance for $1.49. I think I got this at Michael's, to be honest. Does it say anywhere? Yep, Michael's. And I bought this years ago, and I just had it. And it doesn't have a lot of ribbon on it. I'm going to do these red and white polka dot one, because since I did the black polka dots on the heart, if I can get this off. But you can buy, you know, this grosgrain ribbon, so to speak, at, you know, any of the craft stores. I usually do about 10 inches, you know, on this. Oops, it's gonna fall. Now you can do a bow, you can do whatever. Like up here, if you wanted to put a little, you know, something, you can. But I'm just going to take this. Oh, I like it with the polka dots. And the reason why I do 10 inches, because everybody's tree branches are a little different. And some are thicker, some are thinner. And to me, for me, I think 10 inches is good. And I try to get it as close to the top as I can. And I just do that. Now, you got to remember, when you put these on, turn your top, because Gotta turn this part. Turn it. So that when you put it on the branch, it's going to go like that. If you do it the other way, then what's going to happen, your ornament's going to twist sideways. So just make sure when you put it on the tree that this part here is turned that way, so that your branch will hang it like that. Look how cute that is. Oh, I really like these. So fab into it. Let's do another one. Let's go ahead and stuff another one. And see, these make just cute little things. Now you can paint whatever you want on the glass. Like I said, I just chose to do these because I thought this would just be something cute. Everybody likes the movie The Grinch. Even though he's mean, but he turns out to be a nice guy at the end. You know, kind of thing. So I just thought these would be something cute. Hi Whitney, how are you doing today? We just painted, we're making some Grinches here. And I like the different colors of the green, like I said before. It just gives it more fun. And they're all different textures too, the greens. So I didn't think about the little ones as much. I thought, but you could fill it all up with little ones if you really want to. Stick some little ones in there. Get the tree branch out of here. And again, use your brush to poke them around. And let's see what color. Let's do this one. I like them nice and stuffy. I was trying to finish up with this green one on top. Is what I wanted to do. And I think that'll work. Perfect. Now if I can get this in. And I can still, you know, seal these with the yarn in there. Not the yarn, the pom-poms. Gosh me. All right, so I measured 10 inches out. Again, probably be able to get one more with that and use a different color. And see how cute? If you're a teacher and you got to do something with the kids, you know, do these with the plastic ones, of course. And the kids can paint them. Their hearts aren't going to be perfect, but you know what? It's going to be made by a kid. And voila, number 2 is done. Now these, you know, you can glue these in if you want to and do that as well. And I noticed on my one here that I smudged that black dot. I took off some of the paint. I must have touched it. So, back in business. Easy peasy to fix. So let's do one more, and then maybe our our snowman might be dry enough. We can go on to the next part. I wanted the black to dry a little bit, just because black gets all over the place. Let's mix it up. Get in there, get in there. And like I said, these are easy projects. It doesn't take a long time to do. And what, you really can have one of these done like in 15 minutes, pretty much. Stick some of these guys in there. Oop. We'll use all these guys in there, and that will take up. So each of these little bags pretty much you'll be able to do 3 of these. And that's why I think the bigger bags, of course, will be better, needless to say, because you get more pom-poms in there. perfect amount. That, and I think I have just enough to do this. I'm not going to throw this little bit away because I can always make that into a little bow of some sort. And we'll put this up here. And then voila. Now there's also glass paint that you can use. I've done it with these and round ones. It's special glass paint you can find in the craft stores, and you could put it inside different colors and you mix it all around and it comes out like marble. And I've given those away as gifts as well, and people really like those because it's just kind of cool color. Oh, we have one more. This is the last one I did. I'll stick it in here. Want to use up the whole bag because otherwise I'll forget. Let's put that baby down just a little bit. Oh, these are cute. I like them. Hi, Joyce. All right, so we're going to turn it that way. So we'll put these guys down here. Let's go back to our snowman. Now, for the hat, I'm going to stick with the hat right now. You can go ahead and you can get snow that's like three-dimensional, so to speak. And you can use that on the hat. Oops. Or what you can do, I think my paintbrush. This is kind of, see how wide this paintbrush is? It used to be nice and thin meaning like this one is. But I've used it for so long, but I hate to get rid of my paintbrushes. So we're going to do like a stippling. So you're just going to take some of your paint on the bottom of your brush. And the thing is with the hat, it snowed. So you got to make it look like it snowed. So, you know, you're going to just take it and just kind of like, just go like this. You can make them bigger and smaller, you know, in sections on his hat. And this is just going to give that technique like it had snowed and the snow's on the brim of his hat or on the top of his hat. Now, of course, we know on the top part here, we got to have some snow too. So we're just going to bring this down and again, make it as thick in parts or as, you know, however you want to do it. And you're just stippling it on to make it look like it had snowed. This little piece is sticking out there, so we'll get that piece too. And see? That's how you make it look like it snowed on his hat. That's not hot. Hey, Tracy. If you want to make it longer in parts, if you don't want it as much snow, you want one side to have more snow than the other. If it was blowing on him in one direction. And that's all that it is. And by doing the paintbrush like with this way, you know, you can leave spots on it. Like, you know, he may even sticking out and may not have gone. Well, I'm going to put it all the way on this one because I'll show you on this one. So see? Look like it has snowed on his hat. You just go around, you go just do that. Now if you can do it where it's just a little bit there, and if you want to come a little bit on the side over here, you can break it up if you want to. It's up to you. Okay? Look how easy that is. Let's put a little bit more there. Hi Renee, how are you? Now his eyes. Well, let's get his scarf going first. I'm going to make these guys all have red scarves because I kind of want to make it like a buffalo plaid. And I got to put the red down first. So let's paint these guys scarves. You always have a million paintbrushes. You know you can't just have one. Now if you want to paint them blue, whatever color you want, you can do that. cute. And again, they're not hard to paint. That's why I chose to do this with y'all, to show you that, hey, anybody could do this. I say I could leave the bottom, but I'm picky, like I said. So I'm going to paint the bottom the red, because I think that's just a continuation of his scarf. And what's nice about these, they're, you know, 3D, three-dimensional, not just a flat piece of wood, which is what I like about these. All right, turn it around. I don't know if that's the way I wanted to turn it, though. Those little nooks and crannies in there, and then I'll come back on the top here again to make sure if I came over the top that my edges are nice and finished. I'm going to come back and do that little piece on top here in a second. But since I got this paintbrush out, I want to finish using this paintbrush before I take out another. Like I said, we're going to make this look like it's buffalo plaid. I think I need some more red paint there. Let me see if I can move you guys in just a little bit closer, just so you can see better. So hold on. Hold on, please. See if that works a little bit better. I'm going to slide off my chair. Is that a little bit closer? Oops, new paint. And even on these sides, you want to make sure you don't gob it in there, because again, you're going to get those gobby little streaks and blobs in there. You don't want that. So again, these paintbrushes, get whatever you feel you can paint with. A good thin one like we did, like we'll be doing, you know, doing the edges here is good. A square one like this is a good square one, is good. You can buy them in packs, or you can buy them individually. It's up to you. But see how the paint is all over on the top here? I went over the edge, so that's what I want to make sure I don't, it comes out nice and smooth. Trying to do this so you guys can see, and I just got, I'm sure, red paint on my hand just then. Yep. All right. I'm probably going to paint these backs black when it's all done. That way it hides all my mistakes and it just looks more finished off. But I always do that at the end, after I finished all the painting, not before. Because if you get paint on the black, sometimes it's, you know, you're trying to take it off and it just makes more of a mess. There we go. And, you know, going with the grain of the wood helps too. Because if you try to go against it, you may get, it just, sometimes it doesn't, what is the word I want to use? God, I'm tongue-tied. If you go against the grain, you may see the streaks like kind of more. Does that make sense? All right. So we're going to take a really thin one again. I think this was the first one I did. Oh, how did we get moss on you? And we're going to come in along the top here. Again, I'm going to use this to hold my hand, whichever way you want to go to do it. This really skinny brush. Just move it right along. You guys getting a two for today. Getting to learn snowmans and doing a little Grinch ornaments there. A two for day. And you can always go back. I see some white spots in here where I missed. And again, I'm not too worried about the edges because I'm going to go ahead, like I said before, and I'm going to kind of rough it up, you know, to make it more distressed. I want to say rough it up. Of course, Snowman gets enough rough and tumble out there in the cold. Look at that. I'm not even moving my hand. I'm actually moving the ornament to go. I just noticed that. Yeah, that works too. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. Carolyn touched all the paint. Silly me, silly me. So let's do this guy. And then we can move on, figuring out what we want to do for his eyes. Because it's going to take a little bit for the red to dry. And we want to make it look, I want to make, like I said, make it like buffalo plaid. But the red has to dry. Make sure I didn't get any over there, over the edges. I'm good. Whew, that was good. We're on a roll. On a roll, y'all. Now I did notice that his nose is still not as dark of an orange as I want it to be. So I'm going to just take my paintbrush back over that, because I do want a little bit more paint. I think I use this one. I'll just leave them right here. Just a little bit more paint on it. Put that one away so I know which one I'm using. Because if you have more than one out, you get confused. Or I do at least. Cool. All right. Let's see. I think he's pretty much dry his red, that we can do what we want. I still have black out here. Yes. Now, I'm going to use, I think I'll use this one. So I'm just taking a thinner, what I'm going to call a square brush. Get it wet. And all I'm going to do is one I want to use. We'll find out in 2 seconds. I'm just going to take a little bit of the black on here. I don't want a lot of the black on the brush. And we're just going to go down like this. Now he has a knot there. Okay. Then we're just going to come back and go across. And that's all I want to do for his scarf. So it gives that buffalo plaid kind of look on there, but it's not like prestige, like straight line kind of thing, if that makes sense. Hey Mary, how are you? Oh, did I miss these? So again, we'll come across just like that. And it's to give him just a rough idea that he has a plaid type scarf on him. And the part here, you know, is because the scarf is going different directions here, and I'm just going a little bit like that. That's all I'm doing. You just come back. If it's darker, doesn't matter. Just like that. See how cute? He's so cute. Now this gets to be the fun part. Let me put my brushes back. So this one, hopefully you can see up against my hand, is an angle brush. So you see it has an angle on it. Okay? We're going to dip that in some water. And we're going to take whichever side you want. If you want it on the side that, you know, is angled down more, or on the shorter. Hi, Tani. And what we're going to do is just like this. Get some more water in here. And see how it looks watery? That's what we want. Okay, we don't want it like this one. We want it watery. Now I got a little bit too much water. And what we're going to do with our nose, we're just going to take our brush, and this is going to be the outline for his nose. Now you can do it like a shadow effect, like it's more on top and less on the bottom. Okay. And I'm just going to go around the top of his nose. Now if I think that is too dark, take your paper towel and you can come back and use that, and you can just smooth it out. And see how his nose, it gives it a little bit of a why did I put my paintbrush in here? Three-dimensional effect. It gives his nose a little depth to it. It's like a shadow on the top of his nose. And that's all I want. Come back with your paper towel. Or you can use water. So I can dip this in here, and if I think it's too much, I can use my brush to smooth it out. And again, each one's going to be a little different. They're not going to be the same. So I'll show you this one just using the brush. You just come back around and make it how I want it to look. up so you can see. So see what I did on his nose? So let me bring it a little bit closer. I'll bring one a little bit closer. So it just gave some depth on his nose. Now I can do the same thing on the bottom to bring it all the way around, and I'll do that on one so I can show you. So if he was laying flat, let's say, and you want to do this on the inside, you know, which is what we're doing now on the inside of his nose. And see his nose, it just, you can go from this to this. Let's see if you can, I gotta wait for the camera to catch up with me. Thank you, Linda. Oh, let me go a little closer. Don't look at the non-manicured hands. So see the difference? Oops, let me see. Left hand, go to the right. I have to think because it's all backwards. There we go. So this one here, you see how I did it on the bottom of his nose? So see, it gives it more character. It makes it stand out. And this one here, I did it just on the top. So I like this one. So, and that's what you do. You play around with it to get it the way you want it to be. But I like it with more depth. Whoops. So we're just going to come around on the bottom of these two just to make his nose stand out a little bit more. Now the other part that you can do too is, you know how the nose has the little things coming down it? What's the word? Little indentations. I don't know what the word is. You know, like the little lines that come down on the nose. I don't know what that word is. What is that called? Anybody know? I have no idea. So we can just add a little bit of detail just like that. I want to wash it out a little bit to not make it as strong. Don't like that one as much. Come back. I don't know if I like the little lines on it. I kind of don't. So let's just take them off. We're going to add a little bit of orange back in there. I like it without those little lines on it. I don't know what they call them. Anyway, I don't know what they call those little lines that come down on a carrot. You know, to give it, I don't know, whatever they call it. Dimension. All right. So now, what are we going to do for his mouth? He has to have a mouth. You could do the little dots to make it like the coal. Or you can just give him a funny little face, a little smile. And I think we're going to do the funny little smile. So, believe it or not, I have even a thinner brush. So let's play with which one we want to use. Alright, so this one's a little bit thicker. And you can just kind of, and I'm just talking like a little funny little, you know, mouth of some sort. It can be thicker in parts, thinner in parts. Whatever you want it to be. Now this is the thinner paintbrush. I'm just waving. I just want him to have some character. I think we're going to use the thinner of the two. You can always erase it. And how big, where do you want his mouth? Do you want it more on one side? Do you want to go in the whole thing? And I think I'm going to pick the center of this and then just start his mouth a little bit off to the side of that. Because I don't want it to come all the way to here, because I don't think that's going to look right. I think it's just going to be a fun little mouth. So we can just draw some little squiggly lines like this. Again, my hand is on the table. I could go back over it, make it a little bit thicker if I want. And that's what his mouth is going to look like. Now, will it be the same on this one? Nope. It won't. Why? Because I can't make them the same. So each one's different. Oh, you can't finish with the frown though. Oh, I almost put it in white paint. And that's all that you can do. Now again, you can make it all the little circles like you would for coal. And keep in mind, the coal isn't all the same shape. You know, coal is different shapes. Now for his eyes, you want to put googly eyes in there. You can put eyes that are, we'll do like that, like eyebrow eyes. I don't know if you can see that. You can do it the reverse way, like he has smiley eyes. You can do eyes where you paint the whole eye in. Whoops, that's terrible description because that's horrible painting. That's horrible painting to show you. So we could do it like eyebrow eyes, like he's squinting and laughing, or like he's sleeping, or we can draw his eyes all the way in. I don't know if you can see those. They're kind of small. So you have to make a decision what you want to do. Or do you want to make like oval straight down lines? Now, because this one has a big oval spot right here, I think I'm going to do that. It's almost like a line. And I'll show you in a second. And the eyes are what gives them character. So whether you make it oval or rectangle-y like, it is totally up to you. Of course, the other thing is to make them look the same, right? So we got one eye like that on him so far, him or her. And we got to do the other one. You don't have to do them so far apart either. You can do them close to each other. So see? And they don't have to be round. They can be oval. Hello, Teresa. Okay, so see, it's character. It's all about character. Oops. Have a piece of hair or something. All right. So let's do this guy. I like him with the oval eyes though. And all I'm doing, it's just like taking, let me fix this one here really quick and I'll show you. I'll try to show you up close. Okay, so there's one eye. What you're doing is, it's like taking the letter C. You're doing a C and another C. Or part of a C, and then you're coloring it in the middle. That's all that it is. See if I can do this so you guys can see better. So, of course, it's further away from me. and this is all I'm doing. I'm coming down like I'm drawing a C. Okay? See it? Like a C. All right? Just part of a C. Now I'm going to connect that C on the other side. And then fill it in. And that's how you make his eye. See? 2 C's connected. One forward, one backwards. And then you have his little eye. I know they don't look the same to you, but they are the same. Oh, let me just fix this one up top here, though. Here we go. Much better. So let's do the same with this guy. Again, we're just going to make it, I got to do it facing me. We're going to do a C. Figure out where you want it to be. A C and a C. You want to make it more round. I'll make this guy a little bit more rounder, his eyes. You can do that as well. So a C and a C. So this guy has more rounder eyes than the other two. And that's okay. So see, his 2 eyes. Hi Susan, how are you? Hey Kara. All right. So see, each of them has a different character. Now we have to let the black dry a little bit, and the idea is to go put something in there so you can decide which way is he looking. Let's see if he's dry enough. Take my paintbrush out. See if I can spread out that paint a little bit. Because that's another thing, like I said, about spreading out your paint, making sure it's even. You don't want a big glob in the middle or off on the sides. That one we just painted, so we'll leave him. So now, do you want to put dots in his eyes, or do you want to do a little dot with a curl? So what we're going to do, we're going to highlight it with a little bit of a curl. And I'm going to need my other little pen thing for those. Hold on. Now these are little things you can find in the paint section. I don't know what they call them. Where did that one go? Oh, here it is. Hold on. It fell. These have little balls on the end. It's just, I don't know what this says on it. I just know you find them in the patient. No, it doesn't say. It just says American tradition. Now, it's very hard to see, but there is a little ball on the ends of these. And you can use these as well if you wanted to make dots. You can do that as well with these. But what you can also do with them, I'm going to take the paint here, and hopefully you can see. Aren't they cute? You can put the dot there, get as much dot as you want, and then you can drag it, okay? And that gives that little Q in the eye, so to speak, that little C looking thing. So we're going to use white paint. And you're going to decide, do I want it on the bottom or the top? I'm going to go from the top and drag it down. And each time I do this, I go back in and I dip in the paint. The paint was getting a little coating on the top there, so there we go. And see how it just gives him a little sparkle in his eyes. See? Oops, let me turn them up. That's all the, you don't want. You can put eyelashes on them. You could do whatever you want if you want to do that. And that's all that we're doing with these guys. Now this guy has different eyes, so to speak, because he was more rounder. So these are more elongated. So I'm like, which way do we want to go? So this one, I think we're going to do his eyes with a little bit more white in it. Like he's looking more off to the side. My paintbrush is bent there. I wonder how it got like that. I just noticed that. So again, you can take the back of a paintbrush, okay? Make sure you have enough paint on it. And we could just dip it in there as if he's looking off to one side. Oops. And that's all that he gets. Cute little guys, if I do say so myself. But that's all that you have to do with these. Now, once everything is dry, I will come back in with my sandpaper and I'm going to go ahead and rough it up a little bit because I want that, you know, old look on it. So I probably could do it up here because I think all this is dry. And I could just take my sandpaper and I'm just going to rub off the edges. Just to give him that old, like he's worn out. Now sometimes I have a Dremel sandpaper thing, tool that I use the Dremel because it makes it go so much faster than me standing here doing, you know, it by hand. I don't want to do too much of this because his eyes are still wet and I don't want to get it in there. But you can kind of see on the, like the corner of his hat there, how it's bringing it in like that. Okay. So, you know, just dusting it off just a little bit to make him look like he's been out there for a while. Now his face here, it just looks like it's flat. So what we can also do with that, we're going to take our angled brush again. Let me find it. Where are you? Here you are. And we're going to do the same thing that we did on his nose, okay? We'll take our brush. We're going to use our black paint. Oop, got too much water in there. Oop, thought I put it in white paint. And we're going to do the same around the edges here, just to give it a little bit more depth. Okay? If it's too thick, come back. Get the black off of there. Just come back and paint it out with some water. Okay. Just taking a little bit around the bottom here. Just to give Frosty a little depth to him, because we don't want him to look so flat looking on there. Gotta watch his eyes. And just come around the edges. And just use your water. If you need to add more black, add more black. And then take what you want out or add in. And you see how that brings them to life? I'm going to bring Frosty to life. I can get right up here in between his eyes since they're still a little wet. All right, so look at the difference. Make sure I'm in frame here. Boy, there's such a delay. So see this one? See the difference between a little bit more depth and bringing him out to standing him out than just being flat? Does that make sense? Let's do the same with this one. Take a little bit of your paint. You do the same thing. Just come around the edge. Same on the bottom, just bring it a little bit around. Go around. We'll do his whole face right now. Watch his eyes. Then we'll come back with some of the water. Just make it just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And it gives him just a little character. Then what you can do, once that kind of dries, you can just brush over it lightly if you want to bring some of that all into his face. Just a little bit, so that he's not so white. There's rippling, that's the wood, by the way. And it gives him just a little bit more of an antique look. See, I messed up his eye, but we'll fix that. Just dot that back in there. Done. And we'll do the same with this side. Let's bring a little bit of the black. Doesn't matter which side you start with. And I'm bringing it down around his scarf, as you noticed. Just around the edges. And it's not a lot. It's just a little bit of paint. It's kind of, and like I said, it's like a highlight shadow kind of thing. And that's all that it is. You see? We'll just, my brush has a lot of the black on it, so I'm just going back over it just lightly like that. And voila, we have some snowman. So see how it's not hard. It really isn't hard. You can do this. Y'all can do this, trust me. And then you have some cute ornaments. And again, if you wanted to personalize it in any way, maybe you could put their name up here if you wanted to do it here and just not put as much, or any snow or something, or down here. And you have a cute little snowman. You can add little eyelashes at the bottom or up at the top if you want to do something like that, or put the little curly cues at the end of his mouth. Hi Judy, how are you? Hi Christy, hey Charlene. So, and they're just cute little guys. See? Let me see if I can hold them up like this so you can see them all. And they're all different. Now, again, you can change this out if you want to. Put a ribbon in there. I kind of like it with this. Now here, what I'll do, once this is all dry, take a little bit of some berries. Where are my berries? do this. Take a few berries, like 1 or 2 berries, snip them off, and you can put them in his hat. And you can take a little piece of greenery in there if you want to do that. And then it gives them a little something. If you want to put a little snowflake or something down here, you know, sparkly, you can do that too. I don't want to do that on mine. I like him just the way he is. And I think I'd probably just stick a little bit of this in there. Just like 1 or 2 of these. I'll clip them off so we can I could show you. Now I'm going to have to split these. So, because these are going to be, I don't have my glue gun because I didn't think about this part. So I'll stick a little berry there. Make this one a little bit longer. And the greenery, you know, will help hide the stems on here. So if you do 2 little things like that, you know, in his hat, or if you have mini pine cones, you can do that. See if we can find a small, I have all these little things. Like here's a small little pine cone you can stick in there. If you want to do a little pine cone in his hat with a little piece of greenery. So you can do whatever you want for decorations, you know, on them. Oops. I'm just going to put this back in here only because, oh, my glue gun. So, and you can finish them off however you want, and they make cute little gifts. So see, anybody can do this. This isn't rocket science, and I think they came out really cute. And like I said, you could put the snow all the way across, not all the way across, depending on the snow on that day that Frosty was out there. And then, of course, we did these guys today. Our little Grinch, I have to seal those too. Our little Grinch ornaments. So we did a lot of painting today, and it's simple painting. Now my next one, not today, is I have some gnomes we're going to paint, but that's going to be a different day. So we're going to paint on some gnomes. And these guys are going to come out really cute. But those are a little bit, you know, those are for another day of painting. Whoops, I think I just moved the whole camera. So, recap, we did our Grinch today, Grinch hearts, and we did our snowman. Yay! So with that, I am going to say thank you for coming to Nona's Nutty Crafts. Hey, Barbara. And I wish you guys to have a nice day. And I will see you next time. And don't forget to share, to bless my page, float my boat, sprinkle the love, hit that notification button up top with it, anywhere on the screen. Those 3 little white dots will pop up, and make sure you hit on that so you can get notifications when I go live. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.